Hey there friends, it has been a while since I have been here. I think I took a peek back and it's been like since October, and I feel so bad that it's been this long, mainly for myself because I have a goal to keep these videos going, but life's been crazy and I had to take a break for a little while for a few different reasons, and hope you understand, but I also appreciate the patience and the support of jumping back into things here. I have met a bunch of new people in the last little while, and I have just made some dear friendships over the time that I've been away, both related to quilting and stitching. Just want to dive right back into some things and share all the goodness and updates, mainly what's been going on in life and how that kind of transitions into my quilting and stitching hobbies. And just kind of share a little update and get back into things so you can share a little friendship between all of that. With that, yeah, like I said, life's just been life. I don't even know where to start sometimes. I started thinking about making this video and I don't even know where to start with some updates and sharing things that way. But to preface and kind of give you a little bit of a heads up, this episode is going to be focused specifically on cross-stitching and my stitching journey over the last little while and where I've been lately with that. So next episode I'm going to be focusing a little bit more back into some quilting stuff. So just give you a heads up that way that's what this one is going to be focused on, and we'll dive into some quilting things. I've just had so much going on. This episode would be ages long if I tried to fit it all into one, and so I'm not going to do that. We'll separate it out and do a couple of different episodes and update you over time that way. So let's start at life. Life has been just life. It's been wonderful and crazy and all the good things going on. I believe my last episode was October-ish maybe, and I took a break because fall is always so busy for us, and I thought, oh, I'll squeeze some in here and there and find some time to do a video, and that obviously did not happen. So here we are. We spend a lot of time as a family up in the mountains in the fall, and this last fall was definitely a time to remember. Between my dad having some opportunities to be in the mountains, we do a lot of hunting, and my dad had a tag, my son had a deer tag, my dad's was an elk tag. My husband always goes out both for himself and with family, and then I myself had an elk tag as well in November. So it was a couple of months straight of getting a lot of things to try to squeeze in and fit in all together, which is not easy to do. And so sometimes you have to prioritize where things land, and that's where we are today. Finally feeling like we're maybe catching our breath a little, but probably not, because life just continues to go and throw punches at you all at the same time. Things in the personal life got really busy and a little chaotic in the winter, and just trying to power through a bunch of things, and I ended up shifting some responsibilities at work and my day job in the early part of the new year, which has been good for me. Still have some busy things that I'm working through with that, and trying to find a good pace to put myself in, and I've had the opportunity to learn how to set better boundaries for myself, and that's what's important in life. So if you're not already doing so, please take some time to do that, because I've noticed a world of difference for myself in doing so, and how that's helped my mental health. My daughter and son that are home, they both do spring sports, and we were into track and field, and that always brings nonstop weekends and even weekdays of getting to meets and chasing them all around, trying to support them and watch them. They both had a very successful season. My daughter was a freshman in high school, so it was her first year into the track and field world, and she absolutely loved it. Learned a lot of good things and pushed herself that way. She's a sprinter, and I admire her dearly for that, because I am not talented whatsoever athletically. But my kids definitely got that from their father. But she decided to sprint and did wonderfully at that, especially given she was a freshman. And then my youngest son that's home, he also loves to do track and field, and he also loves sprinting and a little bit of throwing. And they do a youth program here in our area for that, and he just loves that. That was his thing, and really had a good time doing that. So that kind of wrapped up springtime and sports season for us, trying to run back and forth and taking care of things that way. for them diving right into summertime. We were right into camps for her, especially with volleyball, and my son did a short little football camp he wanted to try out. Really enjoyed that. I have mixed feelings about him playing football, mainly because of the risks of injuries, but he seemed to really like it, so we will see where that goes in his future. And yeah, daughter got a little job this summer, so she's been busy doing that, and it's been good for her to learn some responsibility there, and I'm trying to chase all around with getting schedules organized and trying to work at the same time. So here we are. Summer also brought some fun things for myself and my husband as well. We started into the month of, well, let's back up a little bit. Springtime, holidays, Easter, everything, Mother's Day was just busyness, trying to be everywhere and do everything. And then I had a birthday in the month of May, and I turned the big 40 years old. My husband was so sweet and threw a surprise party for me, and it genuinely was a surprise. He sent me out to get a massage and get my hair done and whatnot, and then when I got back to the house, he had family and friends here with everything set up, and we had a big luau party, and it was perfect. So I want to thank everybody that had a part in planning and preparing for that, and especially those who showed up and helped me celebrate there. It was wonderful, and it just really made my heart happy to see all of you who were able to show up, and I'm so appreciative of those loved ones in my life, and those of you who just support me even from afar. So thank you, genuinely. That just really touched me and was so special place in my heart for me. So thank you so much. We rounded out the end of the school year trying to get things wrapped up with the kids finishing school, and they ended things pretty good grades. They're good kids, so we had a good month of May. Going into the month of June, like I talked about, we lined up some summer camps and everything, and then I had signed up for a quilting festival that I went to in a local town not too far away from here, and went to that with my mom, my sister-in-law, and her mother, and it was such a wonderful time. We went and spent a few days there, got an Airbnb, just enjoyed and relaxed and had a good time, just getting away from the day-to-day. That's what actually my goal is for my next episode, is going to be talking about that. It would have been now, but it's just hard to round everybody up and get everyone together. And so next episode, my goal is to have some guests on the episode, and having my mom and my sister-in-law here to kind of share a little bit about our time with that retreat. And we all took different classes and had a wonderful time together at the same time. So stay tuned for that one, especially if you love quilting. That'll be the episode that you'll want to listen in on and keep an eye out for. We had a great time and had some wonderful experiences and memories that we got to build together there. Shortly after that, went back to work for a little while, and then my husband and I took off for a couple of weeks and celebrated an early anniversary trip, and we had the opportunity to head over to Hawaii. We've been there a few times, and we absolutely adore the islands. It's a special place for us, and this time we made it over to Kauai for a while. We hadn't been to that island yet, and we had some fun adventures there, just exploring the island and doing some touristy things that way that we wanted to check off our list, and then we jetted over to Maui to spend a few days. We've been there a few times and have some friends there, and we just wanted to go say hello, but really just go relax. This trip was, like I mentioned, just for the two of us, and it was much needed time to just step away from things and just reconnect together. If you don't get to do that often, I'd highly suggest trying to find some time you can do that, even if it's just local. We've learned over the years, we're rounding up onto 21 years of being married this month, and it's important to prioritize time together, and that was an opportunity we could do so. We miss the kids dearly, but Grandma and Grandpa were here, and aunts and uncles, and kept them extremely busy and chasing them around between things they had scheduled, and war camps and work and church camps and all of the things, and then even taking them off to do some fun adventures on their own with family stuff. So they did not miss out whatsoever. In fact, I sometimes think they didn't miss us very much, which is good. When they get older, it's a little easier to leave them, but not so easy to line their schedule up for other people to try to keep track of them. So very grateful for family that's willing to help us out that way. Got home, spent another little while at home, and then I had the chance to head off to a retreat for stitching this time. So it was a full-fledged lined up summer that I intentionally didn't mean to be that packed, but you know, sometimes you sign up for things months and sometimes almost years in advance and line it up, and then other things come in between. So we just made it work, and this is the first weekend we've had this all summer to kind of just sit down and catch our breath. And coincidentally enough, our kids aren't even home with us. They had taken off with Grandma and Grandpa and one of the uncles up to a cabin and to go spend the weekend fishing and getting away. So they're off doing their thing. Hubby and I had a date night, went to a movie last night, went out to dinner, just kind of bummed around while they've been gone, and today's our day for our hobby stuff. And so here I am filming a video for all of you that like to check in and listen in on my happenings and life adventures. And he's off doing his thing for a little while, so it's great. I've mentioned in prior episodes that we also have a son who is off serving a service mission for our church. He is in Chile, and he just hit his 1-year mark for that. He was originally called to serve for 24 months, and we are rounding into 13 months, so we're starting into the countdown, and it's been so bittersweet. I have absolutely loved having him out. There's been a lot of ups and downs emotionally for me as a mother and as the family. Having him that far away was a challenge and still is at times, but it's also been a blessing to watch him grow, and the person that he's becoming, being out there and finding himself and learning how to be an adult in a sense. He's still 19 years old, so he's still a teenager, but has some amazing people that he's with and is helping to support him there in person, but also from afar, those of us that are trying to support him and keep in touch, and just the work that he's doing. Genuinely grateful for him being willing to go out and do that, and it's been, like I said, bittersweet. So fun to watch and know that it's something that he could and should be doing. But as a mom, it's hard to have him away. We're blessed to be able to talk to him once a week, over FaceTime and whatnot. So makes it a little easier. Today is Saturday that I'm filming this, so we'll get to talk to him in a couple of days, and that makes it much easier. But he's been enjoying things. He likes it there. He really does. There's times I would even dare say that he loves it there. I think he misses some things back home, obviously, but he's not a complainer, never really has been. So even when he's going through hard things, we don't hear the magnitude and the genuine heaviness of what he's going through, because he tries to look so much at the positive. Even when he is struggling with things, it sometimes gets to a harder point before we realize how much it's hard for him. But we genuinely appreciate those that are here supporting him and out there supporting him as well, and especially the people there that are helping to take care of him. It's been an immense blessing in so many lives, and especially in ours. So things are going great for him, for those of you that try to keep up on things or that may know him personally as well. So there we are, life update in a few minutes there. Took a little while, so feel free to fast forward or whatever you need to through that. I'm not offended whatsoever. But I have so much to share with you. So I mentioned earlier that retreat that I had gone to last weekend, actually it was, and while it's still fresh in my mind, I was hoping to record it earlier, but this week just got away from us, and while it's still fresh in my mind, I wanted to share all the goodness of things that happened there and let you see that way. If you follow me on social media, you likely saw a little reel that I made from that weekend, so you got to see about a minute or so of a quick overview of that. Some of you that were there may even be watching this, and that's wonderful that you got to also experience it. Some of you may be some of the dear friends that I met and made as well. That was an opportunity that hit me a lot more than I thought it would. I needed it much more than I thought I did. and it was something that I'm so grateful that I had the chance to experience and go do. I'm very quite introverted. Once you get to know me, I'm a little bit more extroverted, but I'm a very introverted person. Hobbies like this are good for me because they fit well into that side of my personality. So it's hard for me to really just put myself out there and go out there to do things, especially in person. I don't have a lot of people in my life immediately and close by that do a lot of cross stitching. My mom used to, and she's just a busy bee right now, especially in life, and just doesn't have the time to do it as much as she used to. So this is a hobby that I enjoy virtually with a lot of friends that way. And I really wanted to attend a retreat just to see how it was different than maybe things in the quilting world. And I had the opportunity to do so. So this was a Stitch West retreat with the guest designers at Primrose Cottage. And you've heard me talk about them before. And some of my favorite stitchers. The owner of the company, Lindsay, she actually used to live here close by in my area, and I got to know her a little bit. I got to meet her, I should say, once or twice, and just absolutely fell in love with her as a person, but especially as an artist. I wish we would have had the chance to be friends a little bit more while she was here, but life happens. And she has had the opportunity to move away to the area she's in now, which isn't too far from me, but still not close enough that we could hang out or do much that way if we did. But so I had the chance to go and see her in person, kind of introduce myself. She did remember me vaguely that way, obviously, from our connection and our time here. And then I had the chance to meet her mom and her darling sisters. Her youngest sister Emily and I have kind of messaged back and forth on Instagram a little bit here and there, so it was so fun to meet her in person as well. And if you are looking for some genuine people, those are your girls. They're so wonderful, and just meeting them in person and seeing how they interact with others and each other it was such a blessing. And the Snug Harbor Crafts, the ladies that run the Stitch West event, Deb and Kev, were just wonderful, so sweet, and just I admire each of them individually, and I just want to take a minute and publicly thank them. I tried to take a minute to walk around and thank them personally while we were there, but I want to publicly thank them as well for the efforts they put into that. I do help with some events in a retreat here locally, and I know the work that goes into those, and especially at that level, I just sincerely admire them, and I want to thank them so much for everything that they did and every little detail that was put into that. So that is what this video is going to be focused on, is my experience at Stitch West and the chance that I had to attend that. It was in St. George, Utah this time, and that's not far from me, just a couple hours south. So I packed up and headed down there. I have family that lives in the area, so a couple of my kids went with me, and they got to spend time with cousins while I went to the retreat. And aunts and uncles were wonderful to help babysit for me during those couple of days, because I was at the event nonstop there, and I did not spend much time at the house with them. And they had a wonderful time. My kids did, spending time with cousins and adventuring all over, and it was fun for them to get to spend some one-on-one time together. So I just want to take some time and share all the things. You can go back onto my Instagram and see the reel that I posted for a quick recap, but let's dive into some of the events that happened. If you've never been to a retreat like this, when you get there, it's just a room full of amazing women, obviously, and it's a little overwhelming. I did not know anybody. I didn't go with my mom or a friend or anything. I went by myself, and as I mentioned, being introverted, that was a little difficult for me to originally walk in and just brave up and pull up the bootstraps and say, I'm doing this. It was not assigned seating, so you go in and you get your name badge, and the doors are open, and you just go find a table you want to sit at. And I just had a little prayer in my heart to say, guide me to where I need to go and who I need to meet here. And I hesitated for a moment at the door, and I walked in, and I looked around for a second, and I just walked straight to a table. There was an empty couple of chairs, and I said, do you mind if I sit here? And the sweet girl said, of course. And there was a reason I needed to sit at that table. Every individual that sat at that table taught me something that weekend, and I'm genuinely so grateful for that. I'm not going to spend time going into each of those because it's kind of something special to me. But if any of them are watching this, I just want to genuinely and sincerely thank them for showing up and being the person that they were at that event, and for welcoming me the way that they did. So part of this is you have table gifts that you share with each other. Not required, but just kind of something fun to do. I do not have an extra to share, so I will post a video really quick right here. Not a video, a photo of what I took for my table gifts. My son is into 3D printing, and so he made some cute little storage containers, I guess you could say, that are 3D printed, but they have little holes in the top so you can stitch on them and put a fun little motif on the top that's, you know, special to you. And then the top one screws in, can be like a little storage box, so you can put your thread or your needles or some little scissors, snips, whatever. Use it however you'd like. So he made up a whole bunch of those for me, and I was able to share those. I put some little snips, little scissor snips in them, and some cute little charms that I had found, and some fun little stickers. So kind of something small, but that's the point of table gifts, is to just share something kind of that you appreciate and like, and something you want to share with others. So today I'm going to share with you what the table gifts that I received myself. Share all the goodness. So I have all sorts of things. I'm going to be continually reaching off and going back and forth to show you some of that. So let's back up for just a minute for the table gifts. When we got there, Stitch West was so kind to also give us some goodies. So this cute little door hanger tab was there. It has some cute little scissor snips tied to it as well, and it says, "Please do not disturb. I'm buried in whips. I'll finish this one after just one more start." So if you're in the world, you know exactly what that means. We never seem to finish, but we've got oodles of starts going, right? And then the back, you could flip it around, and it says, "I'm at the LNS, my local needle workshop. Budget ignored." So very applicable, very fun, a cute little thing to do. We also had a fun little card that they had there that was like a passport card, and it had fun little stamps of things that we could do in the area. You know, go get a drink at Swig, go check out, get a treat or lunch at a local shop. And then there was also things like little tasks we had to complete while we were there, like compliment someone's work, stitch all 3 days, you know, do just different things like that. And so once we completed those, we could go up to one of the hosts and get a little stamp on it. Once our passport was stamped fully, we could put it in for a drawing at the end of the event. So that was really fun. They also had given us this cute little box, and you can hear that. It's full of chocolates. I don't know how I didn't break into mine, probably because we had oodles of snacks as well, but I thought that was the cutest. They were handmade. We had 300 attendees, so if you can imagine, there was definitely some time and love put into making 300 of those little boxes. I might find some more as I go along, so I'll point out what was a table gift versus what made them that way. But this was a table gift from one of my seatmates. Oh, there's a little glare there. But the cutest little bag. It has a little stitched keychain on there with a cute little flower. And there are just oodles of goodness in here. This one was actually from the gal that sat right next to me. But a cute little notebook, a little clippy, some fun little snips, some thread, a pencil, some little tweezers, and she made sure to tell everybody these are for tweezers so you can pick up your snacks and not get your fingers dirty while you're stitching. I loved that because of course we've got to have our snacks too, right? But so many good things. I'm excited to dive in and open that one up and start using those. So thank you so much to her for that. There was this adorable box. It's a little glare on it. This beautiful pink color, and it says "Life is a Stitch." It's from Tiger Lily Designs. And then inside there is a little pack of some beautiful, beautiful gold-plated needles. So beautiful and so handy to have there. Got a couple of cute pencils and a Primrose pen. Things already. Let's see this. There's this fun little bag that's got some tissues and some like a thread keeps in there, and some bobbin holders. some cute little froggy, and a tomato pin cushion, and some mints and snacks. So just all the things you need for stitching. This one is a beautiful little a needle threader that is gorgeous, and it has a cute, like a little deer, a little fawn on it, and also some cute little charms on a keychain. And this is a beautiful beaded scissor fob, maybe a keychain even if you'd like, and it's patriotic colors, which speaks to my heart because I love this time of the year. There were lots of pass outs of some floss keeps cards, because obviously we need the oodles of that. And another little baggie of goodies. This one has some mints and some thread and a little light and some more snips and keychains. Things have been so busy, I obviously just haven't had time to unpack. This is exactly how I brought it all home. More little keychains and cute little goodies. This one was from a little lady. Her last name was Bug, and so she gave everybody a little ladybug charm. I thought that was kind of fun. Another little baggie of there's like a cute little covered button in here, and bookmark, and another little printed frog, but he's like, he articulates, he moves, and some pens and charms, and another little keychain or scissor fob or zipper pull that way. Can you tell we have trends of things we like right now? This was a wonderful it's kind of plasticky, but it's a thread keep as well, so you can keep all your thread organized for your project, and then you can just stash right into your project bag. This is another cute little charm with a fun little saying on it. Some fun Primrose stickers with the bead theme that she has. Sorry, there's a little glare there, so I'm trying to move it so you can see well. Pencils. Oh, I can't show this one, but trust me in the sense that it's a chart. We got a free chart from Primrose with our table gift. That's a fun little stitcher chart exclusive to the event. So I'll share that as soon as I get it stitched, but I'm not going to show the chart obviously on here. So that was a beautiful, I did see a couple finishes on it while we were there. It was so cute. This is a handy little like a badge holder that you could put your keychain into. Your name badge at the events. Thought that was a good idea. And one of my table mates gave out this beautiful, I'm going to pull it out now. It has some, I can unsnap it. There we go. But it's a thread keep book. And it is so cute. The Beatrix Potter. There we go. The name wasn't coming to me. But the fabric on there is Beatrix Potter and Peter Cottontail. And oh, I love that one. That's one of my favorite little stories, even as a kid. So I thought that was adorable. It looks like that, the thread, she's calling it a thread bed. And in case you're curious, that one is made from Mesa Quilt Co. on Etsy. So if you're curious, I'm looking up some, it's a little thread bed booklet. That's where that one is from, Mesa Quilt Co. on Etsy. And it was also had a beautiful, it's called Pretzel from Color and Cotton, thread that came with it. So shout out to Catherine for that wonderful gift for everybody. That one was beautiful as well. Got a fun little keychain that says XSTWPC, so cross stitch west, Primrose Cottage. So just a fun little memory from our weekend. I forgot to show the free chart that I can't show yet, but we got some Dinky Dyes hand-dyed thread, and it looks like this is the color Bushfire that goes with it. So it's a smaller project and one I'll be able to whip up pretty quickly, so I think that might be a coming up project I'll be doing soon. So that was oodles of our gifts that we got within the first day, sometimes two that we were sharing with each other. And then they came around the next day and the next and would give us something small, little table thing. Primrose handed out a notebook, which I think might be over here. We got a fun little notebook journal and another thread. It looks like this one is the color Sunbeam from Cottage Garden Threads. And I don't do a lot of yellow stitching, so I'm excited for this one. I think that one's a beautiful color, and I'm excited to see what I can use that one in. We also got this little needle holder, and it has a magnet inside of it, and it's branded. It says, "A day spent cross-stitching is a good day," and it's from Snug Harbor Crafts, which was the hosts of the Stitch West event. And that'll be super handy. I can throw that in my project bags and have extra needles with me all the time. Oh, here's the book. This was our little journal that we got with the yellow thread that I mentioned. So it says it is Track and Manager cross-stitch projects, so like a cross-stitch journal. And it has some stickers in it, 20 sheets for progress trackers, a flower basket chart exclusive to this, which I did peek at it and it's beautiful. So another project I'm going to dive into, but the saying on there, beautiful things come together one stitch at a time, is one of my favorites of Lindsay's. I bought some stickers, and one of those was this. I have a shirt with it as well. Kind of a little self-motto for myself as well. But I'm excited to start using that one. I might come across some extras as we dive into another bag in a moment, but I think that was everything as far as table gifts and how that went. Couple of other things to show. We did a smalls exchange while we were there. It was totally optional. You could do it or you couldn't. They actually did a project bag exchange too, but it was kind of a last minute choice to do that, and they threw the idea out there like the week before we went to Hawaii, and I did not have time to either make one or round one up and put one together, so I passed on participating in that one, which I was very sad about, because once they started passing them out, oh, they were gorgeous. So many beautiful project bags and things that were getting shared around, and had a little bit of FOMO from not participating there, but maybe next time. But I did participate in the smalls exchange. So how it works is you make a small project, and it literally needs to be small, and then fully finished. So it's not just stitch and then let them finish it. It is a fully finished project, something that they can take and display or use at that point. I wanted to participate in this just because I wanted to take the opportunity to do so, and as I mentioned, life's been so busy, I hadn't had the opportunity to really think about what I wanted to do, but I had a stitch that I had been UFO'd and just kind of sitting in the corner for a while, not knowing what to do with it, so I decided to grab that and finish it off, and I made it into a little zipper pouch. Wasn't perfect, but it was something I did, and the sweetest little lady down in Santa Clara, which is just outside of St. George, but she received my stitch, and she was so sweet. She sought me out to come find me to tell me thank you, and she was just so sweet and so genuine about that. So I stuffed a few extra stickers and some charms inside of it for her as well, as part of that gift. So I'll post a picture right here of what I made and shared as that smalls. And for scale, it was literally maybe like that big finished. It wasn't, so again, it was small. So here's that photo. And my small that I received in exchange, so if you'll make one, it needs to come wrapped, and everyone puts their presents on a pile, and then you get called up by table to come and choose one. So obviously they don't have names on them addressed to anybody. You just get to pick what it is. And so I picked a bag. I actually think it might have come in this bag. I don't remember what bag it came in, but unfortunately mine did not have a name of who made this and who it was from. So I was really sad about that. One chance that the person that made this is watching, but if so, thank you. This is beautiful. But I was so excited to receive this because this is one I have not stitched yet. But this was the Home Sweet Home kind of Valentine-y. I don't remember the exact name, but it is from Primrose. Look how adorable this is. And it's finished with pink plaid on the back, and just, oh, my heart just this is just me. Like, I love the pinks and the blues together, and this is actually how I decorate for Valentine's. So this will be going in that my Valentine's stash of things to display in the holidays, and might even make its way out more often than not. But I just absolutely, I loved it, and I just want to say thank you to whomever finished that one off, because it is beautiful and it's special and dear to me. So that was fun to participate in the Smalls Exchange and see how that works. Again, trying to put myself out there and do something new. They also have what they called a brag table. And this was the opportunity for you to bring something finished and show it off. And then they asked you to fill out a little card, which I think ended up somewhere in my stash that hasn't got put away yet. But having your name, the pattern name, the project name, the designer, all of that. And then it was just displayed throughout the weekend. And so I decided to show off one of my largest pieces I've finished thus far. This is something I have not shared on the FlossTube yet, just because I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to do so. And guess what? That's now. So sharing that here with you now. This is a Lori Holt pattern. So you know Lori Holt, she does a lot of quilting, but she also has some cross stitch patterns as well. I saw this on Etsy once, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. It sat in my cart for a little while till I got brave enough to purchase it, thinking, having some more confidence that I could do larger pieces. But this one took me quite a while. To be completely honest with you, I actually don't know how long it took me. I should go back and figure that out now that I'm saying that. But I remember it took me a while because I started it when we went on a cruise to Alaska with our kids, and I just stitched on it for quite some time. Like, I want to say it took me probably a couple of years to finish. It was the first time I had stitched 2/2. Before this, I was a strict smaller count Aida stitcher, so I was just stitching like 2/1 or 1/1. But this was an opportunity I wanted to stitch 2/2. So, you know, it takes a little bit for your brain to shift that you're counting 2/2 rather than just hopping to the next square. And I still wanted to have it 2/2 because I wanted that saturation of the color. I love saturated colors, if you can't tell. So here we go. This is how I finished this piece off. This is called Flea Market Flowers from Lori Holt. Try to hold that a little closer. And it is large, if you can see compared to my hand. I've actually never measured this to know exactly how large it finished off. But this was my display. I mounted it on a couple of layers of foam board and then put it on this, I'll just show you the back. It's just a piece that I bought from Walmart, and it was already painted white and washed this way. Whoops. It had a, I think 1 or 2 more layers of wood on the bottom. So I didn't love the dimensions that added to like the ratio of my stitch. So my husband cut off those couple of layers on the bottom for me. And so I was much happier with the way that this looks with the ratio of the stitch and how that finished off. I do have some better photos of this on my Instagram and I think in my Facebook, if you'd like to see it a little bit better than just the video. So this was my show-off piece, my brag table. I'm very happy about this one and so happy with the way that it turned out. There are a couple of small little mistakes in it, but that's what gives it some character, right? You learn as you go, and that is one thing that I have learned with my quilting and stitching is that you don't, there's not a lot of room for perfection and enjoying it at the same time. I'm the kind of personality type that I would rather have it done than perfect. And sometimes those imperfections other people don't realize and notice. Only you do. So keep stitching, keep quilting, keep doing what you want to do, and you'll be happy with the outcome in the end, I promise. So that was really fun for me to show that one off. Let's see, before I show some of that, part of this is that they have a fun little thing that you can go and ring the bell if you finish a stitch while you're there. And I have a project I've been working on since October of last year. And I remember starting it at my daughter's volleyball tournament. And I've been working on it throughout the year. Obviously not exclusively, or I probably would have finished it much sooner than this. But lately I've been kind of stitching it exclusively because I got so close to finishing it. And I've shown this one on the FlossTube a little bit here and there, but I finished it, so I get to brag. It is not fully finished yet, and I'll explain more in a while of why, but I wanted to show off I finished the stitching rules. And I'm so sorry that it's kind of, you can't see it the best because I needed something behind it, but this one was beautiful, or it is beautiful, but it was also very fun to do. This one is a Primrose Cottage pattern, if you haven't seen it before, and it is so fun. Love the way she writes her patterns because they're separated out into sections, so they're little motifs, like sections you can work on at a time. And this one, I believe, has 7 different sections, and so I just would work on a section at a time and move down. If you couldn't read it very well in the video, there's stitching rules: count twice, stitch once, enjoy each stitch, always cross your X's, no frogging allowed, there's never too many whips, and just keep stitching. And the way that she has her patterns written, you could even stitch just one. If you like just one of those things, you could make it into a little pillow or a little sign. I decided to finish it off fully because I have a spot here in my sewing room over in the side over here that I would like to put it once I finish that. So it's not completely FFO'd, but it will be shortly. While I was there, I got to have the opportunity to ring the bell and finish it and celebrate with everybody. And Lindsay came and gave me the heads up that Paisley and Polka Dots is actually making a custom frame that matches the rules. And I took a peek at what that looks like, and oh my goodness, it's perfect. So I am waiting for Paisley and Polka Dots to release that frame, and then I will have this FFO'd so that I can display it and enjoy it here in my sewing stitching room. So fun to celebrate and brag there for a minute. And I just wanted to show you. I finally finished it because if you've been watching these before, you've seen my progress on that one a little bit. While there, I also started a new start because I finished that one on the first day and I needed a new start. So I decided to pick up the honeybee quilt pattern that Lindsay has. I love her bee patterns. I just haven't had the time to start them yet, unfortunately. So that was my opportunity. I was in a hurry before I left, and so I just grabbed some fabric that I had already pre-cut. And back when I first started stitching, I actually would protect my edges by taping them. I don't do that anymore, so please don't come at me if you don't appreciate and like the taping. I cut them off before I do an FFO on it, and I haven't had issues with it. I just now prefer to try to stitch it when I can. But this was a piece back then, so it does have tape around it. But this is her honeybee quilt pattern. I'll try to fold that over and show you. A little glare because I keep them in sheet protectors. So that's what it looks like when it's finished, and this is my finished piece. Stand up and look a little bit better. I actually just finished this a couple of days ago, so I started it at the retreat, worked on it a little bit, and since I've been home I finished it up, and I absolutely love it. I think I'll probably finish it off into a little pillow. Just work on that sometime. Have some other projects today after I'm done with this video, but we'll get there. So that was a really fun one to be able to finish off and say that I have it almost ready. So that was the retreat. I took another project with me, didn't start it, or work on it, I should say. It started, and I'll show that in a minute, but that was kind of what I worked on there. But during the time while we were there, they released some exclusive patterns for us as stitchers. So if you were not able to attend the retreat and you're a Primrose fan, she may release them in the future. I don't know how long into the future, but these were some that were exclusive to the retreat, and I feel so lucky to have gotten those, got my hands on them. I wanted to take some time to share those and what they are. So she has a 3-piece that's, she named it Home is Where My Stitching Is, and there were 3 different pieces in this, and I had the opportunity to get the finishing kits for them as well. Here's what those look like. If you follow Primrose, she did show them on her FlossTube this last week. One is called Needle Workers Neighborhood. So that one is so adorable. The other one is Home is Where My Stitching Is. And the tomato stack. So this is a little neighborhood, Needle Workers Neighborhood. Home is Where My Stitching Is. And then the cute little tomato stack that she has that way. So I was able to get the finishing kits and all the floss. I think she included for us, but I'm excited to get started on those. They are going to be beautiful, and they'll probably live here in my stitching room with me. So I got some nice foam, sticky foam board, or sorry, just sticky adhesive liners to be able to finish that, the mounting board. the floss pack that goes with it. A lot of the colors are similar to her stitching rules, so it'll be nice. It'll kind of flow and match that way. Some fabric to go with it. I decided to go with the light ash gray with the Zweigart. I like stitching on that, and I love the light ash gray color. And then a finishing kit. So we've got the fabrics and everything needed to finish those off. She also, as an opportunity, had the frame, she calls it her cloud frame, that will go with that Needleworkers Neighborhood piece. So I was able to get the frame to go with it as well. So that was lots of fun, lots of goodies to bring home that way. Her shop there in St. George was also open, so just down the road from where we had our retreat, we could buzz down and do some shopping, and I couldn't pass that up, obviously. So ran to the shop with some friends and did a little bit of shopping, and I'll show you my goodies I got while we were there. She has this fun little house round pattern that I got, matches her some of the home patterns that she's been putting out lately. I'm so sorry, there's a glare there, so hopefully you can see that okay. I got some round sticky board to finish and work with that. I did get the frame as well that will go with that. And she has a lot of other round patterns that I'm debating to get another round frame or use this and switch them out. It'll depend on where I'm going to finish and what I'm doing with it. I'm still deciding there. Let's see what else here. Receipt in the bottom, which always stays in there. We don't disclose that. But I mentioned before my little saying, the beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. My favorite little saying of hers, so I got a sticker. I actually used to have one on the back of my machine. I wasn't thinking, and I put it in a place that when I took it in to get service, they needed to remove it. So I got a new one. I got a little pin pack that matches the house rounds, which you can't really see them in here. They're so itty bitty, but once I'm able to finish those, I'll share. And then I've had a thing for zipper charms lately, and I really love this one. I love the Sunbonnet Susan, so not sure what I'm doing with it yet, but I wanted to add it to my collection. So that's what I got out of her stitching part of the store. And then she had a fabric sale going on, which whether I'm using it for finishing or for quilting, didn't matter. I couldn't pass up on the fabric, so got lots of goodies there. We listen and we don't judge on this channel, by the way, so no judgment here. But there was a bunch of fat 8s, so some Sharon Chelsea fabrics, some others that were just, I don't know what I'm doing with them. I just wanted them for my stash, either for scrap quilts or for finishing projects. So lots of fat 8s, some beautiful, beautiful themes there. And yes, there's more. Keep going here. Well, these are all fat 8s again. She had her fat 8s for $1. Couldn't pass that up. And then she had some fat quarters for $2. So I got a good stack of fat quarters. These are all not coordinating necessarily. They were just scraps that I wanted to add to my stash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of those, and I'm not going to count the fat 8s. There's a bunch of those. Oh, and then we also got a honeybee piece. I think it was the day we got our yellow thread. I forgot about that one. And down in the bottom here, just some yardage that was on sale as well. So I thought this green was really cute. I absolutely fell in love with this kind of gingham-y plaid one, so I got lots of that, maybe a quilt backing or something. And then a fun little pumpkin print, because I love fall. So that's kind of where I am with that. That's a lot of goodness to share, and this video's been going for a while, so thanks for sticking out if you're still here. I have one last thing I wanted to share. I've been trying to get better at getting on top of my whips as far as my stitching ones. I have a bunch that are finished stitching but not finished into something yet, so I'm trying to work through that. I showed you I finished the stitching rules and I finished the bee one, and this is one that I've had going for a while. I think it's Autumn on the Farm, I believe is what it's called, from Lindsay. And this is how far I am on that one. So this is a project I'm going to start working on to try to have it ready by fall. I've got a little bit of work to do still here on this side. This side's finished, but I just need to finish filling in the barn and then adding the tree and the motifs on the side there. So those are my current works that I've got going. I have oodles of patterns I'd like to start, but I've been getting a little overwhelmed between stitching and quilting, so I told myself I needed to finish a couple more before I could start some, and I've been trying to be very diligent about that. I did get the recent Sip and Stitch box from Primrose, which has so many goodies in it, so I've got lots of patterns lined up of things to start stitching and get finished off, really. So between that and working on some quilting things, I've kept myself very busy. Probably a little bit too much. So my goal today is to work on some quilting, get some things going. I have a few projects for some other people that I've committed to that I'm trying to work through and get finished off. And then I also need to prep because one of my quilts was selected for our local's Quilters Heritage Festival. I'll be teaching a class for that in October. So if you're interested in coming and visiting our area and maybe taking a quilting class, I'll talk about that a little bit more in my next video when I'm focused a little bit more on quilting. But sign-ups are open and we have got some amazing classes, and I will be teaching Saturday morning my newest pattern that I've put out that you can find on my Instagram as well. But I'd like to share that here on Floss QuiltTube, so I'll do that next week. Or not next week, sorry. Next episode. And share and talk about all the quilty goodness I've been up to at the same time. So lots of good stuff going on that way. But again, thank you so much for stopping in and taking some time to spend some time with me here. I genuinely appreciate you sticking around and supporting me in my hobbies. And I do this mainly because I want to support others and helping them see, you know, your stuff doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the best of the best. You do it because you enjoy it. And just because you can't stitch every day or can't quilt every day or do something, finding little pockets of time to do something is where it makes a difference. I don't always get to pick up my needle and thread each day, and I don't always get to work on something specific. Sometimes I'm just scrolling social media to get some inspiration and ideas, and other times I'm over there trying to support others, while sometimes I can actually sit down and do something myself. But just taking that time to tap into your creativity side a little bit is what makes a difference, and I'd like to encourage and support each of you to find the time to do that where you can, whether that's be for yourself or connecting with others and creating that network to do so. So I have a lot of fun things planned coming up here this fall and winter, so please keep an eye out on some fun announcements and things that are going to be coming out that way. Lots of goodness going on. And trying to keep up with life at the same time, which is always fun. I know we're all in that same boat. So just wanted to remind you all that creating is important, and take the time to do so. Take the time to connect for you. It is important to take care of yourself and to connect with something that you need in your life. And I've known times when I haven't done so, and when I do so and I notice an immense difference. And sometimes even if it's only for 5 minutes, that 5 minutes can make a difference. And especially if you're trying to make a habit of that 5 minutes over time, it'll add up and it will make a difference, I promise. So continue to search that creative spot in your heart and doing what you can and supporting one another. Even if you don't feel like you're to that level yet, put out what you're doing so far and share with the world what you have, because what you have and what you're doing does make a difference to somebody and to the world, and it's needed. So share the goodness, share where you are, and shine your light, and we will catch up here in a couple weeks. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.